everybody. Welcome to Mysterious Pals. My name is Chris, and we're here tonight to talk about something mysterious, probably. Before we do that, I want to tell you that the rumors are true. You can't cage a beast because he's here on this show. Jordan, thank you for being here.
Yeah, hi, Chris.
How you doing today?
Doing all right. Excuse me. Sorry.
How was your week?
Doing good. Busy.
Busy?
Yeah.
Living a dream.
Mm.
Living just fine.
How about you? How was your week?
It was fine. At the time of this recording, school's winding down, so getting gonna be off work for a little while, deal with that stuff. But it is a time to be alive, I will say that, because it's hot outside.
Ooh, yeah. It is gross.
Yeah, sticky gross, and this part of these United States where we live, where we hail from, I am not the biggest fan of the hot summer heat.
I'm not good with the heat.
No,
It makes me cranky.
Yeah. Air conditioning is a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
But still pretty hot out there. Just getting in your car is kind of a challenge.
Ugh.
Sometimes I like it. I think it's like a hug, like a nice warm hug. I like to sit in it just for a minute. Just
No,
be like,
thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty hot. Cars are dangerous whenever the windows are up and it's hot. A bad thing. But we're not here to talk about that.
Speaking of cars are dangerous when the windows are up, do you have like one of those devices you can like smash your window in case you go in like a body of water?
No. Not a lot of bodies of water as I'm running around here, driving around.
Water.
I mean, yeah, but like, there is such a thing.
Yeah, they have the devices. You could do that. I've thought about that. I was like it probably never happened. Hopefully, but I end up in a body of water in my car.
Yeah.
I don't have the crank windows.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Let me kick it.
Can you just open the door? There's a lot of water bearing down.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I've never been a spy who drove off of something. I've never been
Or jumped a bridge.
Yeah, I've never been like outrunning the cops, and that was the only way I had left to go. I don't know. I think that would be horrifying. There's a lot of movies like that have that as like the main starting points.
Yeah.
Yeah, drowning sucks.
I don't know if I could kick through my window or windshield. They make it look easy in the movies, but I don't know if how possible it is to do.
Especially with like, I don't know. Especially like underwater. You get a lot of kicking force underwater.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go. Maybe we should buy one of those.
I got for my mom for Mother's Day. She had like an Amazon wish list, and one of those things was on there. It's like you'll like cut your seatbelt and you like crack your window. I was like, man,
how does it work? I wonder how it works. I'm interested now.
I don't know.
I've heard of them. I just never really cared enough to look at them. But that is a hell of a thing, breaking a window with one hit. I would probably walk around and like do that to people I didn't like. Like, hey, check this out.
I was going to say, like, what, drown them in their cars?
cut their seatbelts.
Yeah, cut their brake lines.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. I guess that's probably a felony or something. But
I'm sure it is, yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
What are you going to do?
I'm not going to do it. It's silly. I don't even know if that's how they work. They probably don't even work. Probably just one of those rip-off Amazon things.
I'm sure,
You're like,
yeah.
I'm going to go in Temu and get like 30 of them for 3 pennies, and they're not going to work at all.
That's not the only thing I got from my mom for Mother's Day. That would have been terrible. I just want to throw it out there. Your mom. In case you get plunged in big body of water.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of cars, especially like cars made in the last, like, I don't know, 20 years, like all the, I don't know, so it's like the lock goes down inside the thing, so you can't pull it up. Like when you're grabbing it.
Yeah.
You have to like actually open the door. Maybe that'll still work. A lot of electric locks. So there has to be some kind of fail safe in there.
Didn't
like
someone
built into the car?
And like one of those Cybertrucks go in a body of water and they couldn't get out?
Sounds like some jackass riding a Cybertruck would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I would buy one if they weren't $1 billion. It sucked, but I'm all for electric cars or whatever's cheapest, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll drive whatever the hell is cheapest. Someday we'll all have electric vehicles or some kind of vehicles. People all need to get over it, but that's going to happen someday because that's how technology works.
Mm-hmm.
All technology works that way.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 years ago, the combustion engine wasn't the thing that we were riding around. We were riding horses for centuries.
Yep.
And those, I think that's crazy. Like, you think about, I don't know if we ever talked about this, like the idea of like horses, the like infrastructure in most of the world was supporting horses.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to transportation like for centuries. And then someone just like, I made a vehicle.
Yeah.
And we're all like, okay. And then there's trains.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's just do that. And then like all the people that were like horse owners and like horse, what do you call the guys that like took care of the horses were like, son of a, what the hell?
Yeah.
And like people are like, oh, the truck drivers are not gonna be able to drive trucks because there'll be robots soon. And I'm like, yeah, probably in like 30 or 40 or 50 years when those people are already retired and doing other like dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just won't train people. That's how things work, technology. But like, we're pretty far off from that.
Yeah.
At the same time,
it's coming.
Yeah, it has to.
It's coming.
Like eventually we won't have, I think all those, 100 years ago was the kind of cars that became more affordable. Was starting like popping off like 100 years ago. Finally, people were like mass production of cars.
Yeah.
Prior to that, there was these like, it's like that rich weirdo driving around this thing. You're like, look at that iron horse. Yeah, that thing's never going to catch on. Technology, that's how technology works.
Eccentric.
Yeah. People are like, books, ha ha ha. The written word. There's a lot of really awesome information about that. Like how, was it like Aristotle or Plato or one of those guys was like, if you write words down, that's the worst thing you do to humanity. That's going to be the end of conversation if you write words down.
Huh.
And then people were like, no, man, it's cool.
It's fine.
And then people were like, then everybody's like, when the newspaper came out, people were like,
radio, television, internet.
When the newspaper came out, they're like, oh, these people are just going to be looking at newspapers. They're not going to be talking to each other. It's fine. Comic books supposed to be the worst thing ever invented.
Yeah.
TV, phones. They thought everybody was going to be one big-eared freaks. That didn't happen. Now cell phones are the biggest scourge of the world. I think it makes everything better. I don't know. Can't go to the bathroom without it.
Yeah, like, did you ever think about that? Like, what we did?
Just look at the sky. Look at my, read soap bottles and stuff now. I'm so bored.
Yeah. People keep magazines in, their bathrooms and, accidentally pee on them sometimes. It's because, they're right next to the toilet.
The Reader's Digest was key for that. But, a cell phone's the best thing that happened to taking a dump since toilet paper.
It's the 3 seashells.
Yeah. And a lighthouse painting. Seashells?
Yeah. What was that? Demolition Man?
I never saw it.
He gets cryogenically frozen. Sylvester Stallone wakes up in the future, goes to the bathroom, and he's like, I didn't see the toilet paper, I just saw 3 seashells. And they're like, this guy doesn't know what 3 seashells are? Is it supposed to be I don't know, you're supposed to use it to clean yourself or something? Watch it. The days are cool, though.
I'm all right. Cool. What do you think the next, advancement in bathrooms are going to be?
Well, they got those, self-cleaning ones. Those public ones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But they don't really see those anymore. I'd like to have a self-cleaning one in my house.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I should just put a hose in there just whenever it just turns on randomly. It sprays everything down. One of those things you put in your garden.
A sprinkler?
Yeah, like a sprinkler that goes back and forth. It's I just have one sitting in there. I'm like, it's self-cleaning.
It's not a timer. So you sometimes forget. It's just in there. Just get hose down.
Yeah. It's self-cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything's just soaking wet all the towels. Everybody's like, what the hell?
Slipping on the floor.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
Remember people have carpeting in their bathrooms? That's disgusting.
Those people are dumb.
That's disgusting.
There's a couple people I don't like in the world that I just don't trust. I'm sure they're great people, right? Okay, it's anybody that has carpeting in their bathroom and or kitchen.
Kitchen?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
There's someone across the street from me that has kitchen carpeting. Yeah. Dumb. Terrible. Stupid.
Yeah.
And anybody that has a dresser in their kitchen.
In their kitchen?
That's an automatic red flag for me.
What do they put in their dresser?
Exactly.
Silverware? And
we used to know someone we used to be friends with that had a dresser in his kitchen.
Do you know what he put in there?
I didn't want to ask. I just stopped talking to him.
That's why we're not friends anymore.
Yeah. No, it's just a weird thing. I don't know.
Weird.
I have weird hang-ups. But carpet. Remember the toilet seats that had carpeting on them? Or not carpeting, but they're fuzzy?
Yeah.
Man. There's germs. There was just germs everywhere. I wonder why the Black Plague did what it did. All right, what do we got to talk about this week, Jordan? Speaking of Black Death.
I realized...
You were worried this was going to be a short episode.
Well, okay. let's get into this, and I'll tell you why I wanted. I was originally going to do this like months ago. It's going to be like my second or third episode, I think. I talked to you about.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, okay. Our mystery this week takes us to Siberia, Russia.
Heard it's lovely in the winter.
Yeah, it just sounds god awful. I remember in like movies, people like in like some Russian scientist or military guy, like his punishment was like he got sent to Siberia.
Yeah,
that's in like a lot of movies, on the TV shows.
If your region is like the thing they send prisoners to, probably kind of sucks up there.
Yeah, it's just cold all year round.
Permafrost, is that what they call it?
It's remote. Not many people live there. We're going back to June 30th, 1908. It's around 7:17 a.m.
7:17.
Yep. Let me give you a retelling of what a man witnessed. Region of Siberia. A man named S.B. Semenov was sitting by a house at a trading post when suddenly 40 miles north of him, he sees the sky split in two and fire appeared high and wide over the forest. The split in the sky grew larger and the entire northern side was covered with fire. He recounts at that moment it became so hot that I couldn't bear it. It was as if my shirt was on fire. From the northern side where the fire was came strong heat. I wanted to tear off my shirt and throw it down, but then the sky shut closed and a strong thump sounded. I was thrown a few meters away. I lost my senses for a moment, but then my wife ran out and led me to the house. After that, such noise came as if rocks were falling or cans were firing. The earth shook. When I was on the ground, I pressed my head down, fearing a rock would smash it. The sky opened back up. Hot wind raced between the houses like from cannons, which left traces in the ground like pathways. It damaged some crops. Later, we saw that many windows were shattered, and that in the barn, a part of the iron lock snapped. All right, what do you think this was? 1908, middle of nowhere, Siberia, very heavily forested. Not many people around. Guys just hanging out.
I think it was now 1908, they're probably not testing nuclear weapons yet. I mean bombs.
Probably not, yeah.
Could have been bombs. Could have been someone bombing someone.
Yeah. But out in the middle of nowhere.
What else is gonna happen out there? Military installations. Wait, 1908, was that before the Russian Revolution or whatever?
Yeah.
Or the Soviet?
So there was one in like 1905 that lasted in 1907, but the big one was the Bolshevik Revolution, which like overthrew the Romanov family.
And when was that?
19.
After this.
Yeah, it was after this. Yeah,
19 after this.
And then like World War I happened.
Okay.
So another witness was the man Lochetkin. He was a member of an indigenous group there. His relative was a reindeer herder who herded 1,500 reindeer in the area. Following this event, they found the charred remains of some of the reindeer, while others were not found at all. Nothing remained of their sheds. Everything was burned or melted. Another story, a paper 2 days later, another account is given. Over 100 miles away, people saw rather high above the horizon some strangely bright, impossible to look at, bluish-white heavenly body, which for 10 minutes moved downwards. The body appeared as a pipe. The sky was cloudless, and only a small dark cloud was observed in the general direction of the bright body. It was hot and dry. The body near the ground, forest. Bright body seemed to smudge and then turned into a giant billow of black smoke. And loud knocking, not thunder, was heard as if large stones were falling, or artillery was fired. All buildings shook. At the same time, the cloud began emitting flames of uncertain shapes. All villagers in this area were stricken with panic and took to the streets. Women cried, thinking it was the end of the world.
Volcano?
Some people thought it might have been a volcano. Like I said, we're in Siberia, Russia. It's pretty isolated. There's just like a few indigenous people, not many people living there, even today. This is right around the Tunguska River.
Oh, okay.
And these accounts previously described became known as the Tunguska Event. But following this event, The impact of it registered on seismometers around the world, with some reading as high as 5.0 on the Richter scale. This was everywhere. Like, people all throughout the world were like, something just happened. Night skies glowed over Asia and Europe for several days following the event. In the U.S., both the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory and the Mount Wilson Observatory noted a sharp decrease in atmospheric transparency for months due to suspended dust particles from the blast.
So it was something that everybody saw.
So, like, I mean, I think they said someone from like all the way from like Northern Ireland saw this thing. Like, crazy.
Okay.
Scientists today believe that whatever this explosion was equivalent to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, or about 1,000 times more powerful than the bomb that dropped on Hiroshima.
1,000 times more powerful?
Yeah.
Ooh, that sucks.
The Tunguska Event is the largest impact event in human history up until that point. But luckily, because of the remoteness of the area, it is believed that only 0 to 3 people actually died.
0 to 3?
Yeah. Well, some sites said like none, some said 1, some said 2, some said 3.
And those people were just like the ones that like were like, what the hell? And then just fell over.
But unfortunately, also due to the remoteness of the area and the fact that the Russians were later be preoccupied with the revolution and World War I, not much investigating took place at the event. So this happens in 1908. Russia goes through all these, like, they have issues, a little preoccupied with revolution, overthrowing governments. World War I happens. It wasn't until 1921 when the Russian mineralogist Leonid Kulik led a team to the Tunguska River Basin, surveying for the Soviet Academy of Sciences. Kulik heard numerous local accounts of the explosion, believed it was caused by a giant meteorite. Funding was provided by the Soviet Union in hopes of recovering iron from said meteor. It could be like, very important mineral. On the first attempt by Kulik, it was the harsh conditions of the Siberian wilderness that prevented his team from reaching the blast area. It wasn't until 1927 that Kulik and his team made it to Tunguska. Upon getting there, he observed a 5-mile area of scorched trees and blown off branches still standing upright, stripped of bark and showing signs of burning. He also noted that this explosion knocked over 80 million trees for an area of 800 square miles of butterfly. So in time, it wasn't just like, oh, that's 80 million trees and 800 square miles, but like in time, like he went back there a few times, like estimated. That's huge. Luckily, it didn't happen in like a major city.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what if that happened in a populated area?
Like, that'd be the end of that city. Yeah.
Or what in the ocean?
Yeah.
What was it?
Be mass like tidal waves and tsunamis and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what is the focus here of his? He's just trying to prove that it was a meteor.
He thinks it's a meteorite. Yeah. So yeah, he sees that over time he sees 8 million trees that were knocked over, 800 square miles. This area, 800 square miles damage. Unusually, though, Kulik found no impact crater at the epicenter or physical evidence of meteorite. That's the mystery. Like,
okay,
what?
That's what I was going to
ask. The heck happened here? It's assumed,
assumed it's a meteorite.
Yeah, but like, you can find no physical. There's no crater, just like a scorched earth kind of thing.
Okay.
And the trees in the epicenter of whatever hit there were still standing up there. The bark was burned off. The limbs were knocked off, but they're still standing. Everything around that, all the trees are just like leveled.
Makes sense. That's
it was like a shape of like a butterfly that was like dozens and dozens of miles like wide and high.
Okay.
He's like, hey, it's got to be a meteor.
I have theories, but
there is no meteor. There's no evidence of a meteor. There's no crater.
Something that
just like, what the hell just happened?
Something that big, I'd imagine, had to have something left over, right?
Right. Yeah, you'd think. He did find holes, or apparently they're called bogs, too, that he thought may have been very, very small impacts from the meteorite. Last, he didn't find anything in tree stump. Okay, well, maybe there have been like debris. These holes might have been caused from like debris from the meteorite. There's nothing in them. Subsequent investigations throughout decades did prove fruitful, however. Nickel was eventually found. Uncommon in that area.
Okay.
There's something extraterrestrial.
That was made of nickel.
Yeah.
It had nickel
in it.
as part of it.
Yeah.
are meteorites or meteors nickel based in some cases?
They sometimes have nickels, yeah.
Nickel?
There's just like
It's
nickels in them.
It's like, oh, Abraham Lincoln. Is he on the nickel? Who's on there? Who's a rascal on there?
It's Jefferson, right?
I don't know. I don't
No.
think I've touched a nickel in years. Like, I just throw those in the
Is it
garbage.
Jefferson?
Look at this trash.
Jefferson the dime.
Again, I haven't touched one of those things in years.
Oh.
People gives me real change. I just slap it out of their hands and walk away. I got room in my pockets for
Nickel
that.
coin.
Who's on there?
Yeah, it's Jefferson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Good idea.
Yeah, Jefferson.
Jefferson.
So these are there's just tons of nickels there. American nickels.
Yeah. If someone's like, I have a hunch on what's going on here. What if America start making nickel bombs?
All right. So what are your thoughts? Because I'm going to go into like several theories of what I think this.
Well, if it was a meteorite, and like a meteor turns into a meteorite when it enters Earth's atmosphere. Is that
So
what it
yeah,
is?
I never knew the difference between like a meteor, meteorite,
Asteroid.
asteroid, or comet.
Well,
So I had to look.
comets, yeah.
I had to look it up. But like sometimes I feel like I use those interchangeably. That's not accurate. A meteoroid is a space rock.
Meteoroid.
Yeah, meteoroid. A relatively small object traveling through space between the size of a grain of dust and a small asteroid.
What's an asteroid?
A meteor is a meteoroid that enters Earth's atmosphere and burns up. A meteorite is a meteoroid, especially one that has hit the Earth's surface. This guy thought it was a meteorite.
What's an asteroid?
Asteroid is a rocky object that orbits the sun and has an average size between a meteoroid and a planet. And then a comet is an object made mostly of ice and dust, often with a gas halo. Sometimes orbits the sun.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes out.
So what's the biggest? Wait, hold on. What's the biggest one? Asteroid or comet?
Asteroid, because it's be as big as a planet.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, those guys just making up crap over there.
Over there,
astrophysicists
over
and stuff over at NASA or whatever. Okay, so if it was a meteorite, okay, which
is
it wasn't a volcano.
It has to hit Earth's surface. Yeah, people did think it might have been a volcano, but there's like no volcano in that area.
Because they're always talking about the big volcano under Yellowstone. It's going to destroy the entire planet.
Right.
Yeah. So was it a meteor that didn't actually hit the planet and exploded above the ground? But then why would it not?
A meteor is a meteor that enters Earth's atmosphere and burns up. So it's possible.
Because it maybe but then why wouldn't it get the stuff right below it?
Yeah.
It had to explode outward. I don't know.
But that would explain the burning of the trees.
Hot stuff that exploded. Yeah. But like, why wouldn't it?
Some of these people saw like a blue light, a pillar of fire, or something like that.
Oh, okay. It didn't hit the ground.
And it hit the ground now.
They have force coming after them or coming.
Yeah, there was like a force that knocked them over. Big winds. Shockwave, yeah, that broke glass. It was felt around the world, so.
I mean, there was that one a couple years ago that went through Russia and like
2013, yeah.
And that like caused all this like damage and stuff. Yeah. And that'd be crazy to see one of those.
I don't know if I'd want to. But maybe we want to do this is because I remember
Deep Impact. You remember the movie Deep Impact?
Well, because we were talking about that last time.
Oh, that's right.
Morgan Freeman.
Or Asteroid. Were you more of an asteroid?
Was that?
So wait, Asteroid was probably a bad name then. Oh wait, because it didn't make it. It didn't make it to Earth. No, it did. Wait.
Yeah, because didn't it hit?
Or was that Deep Impact? Deep Impact had hit. Asteroid, they blew it up. Maybe part of it hit. Because Bruce Willis.
Blew it up. Yeah. He stayed back
with the Steven Tyler song, Aerosmith song. I don't want to miss a thing.
Yep. There it is.
Okay.
All right.
Man, middle school. That was a song to dance to.
That was a jam right
with
there. With my nobody.
With your close honey.
Close with your cousin.
Yeah. Oh, your aunt or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so go for it. Hit me.
We're gonna go more far out there to like kind of like we sometimes do, like the craziest to like most.
Yeah.
Normal.
Can you start right in the middle?
All right. So one of them is a god. Might have done this.
A god or the god?
A god.
Okay.
The explosion was credited by the indigenous people to Agda. Is their deity associated with thunder? It was done as retribution against the Evenki community for their internal conflicts. They thought like, oh, brought this upon herself because of it.
Okay. I mean,
They sanctified the explosion site and fiercely protected it, delaying scientific exploration for almost 20 years. That's one of the reasons why like no one was able to go out there and check out what was going on, aside from, a world war.
I was always interested in that as it relates to like other cultures throughout history and like their like places of worship where they built around, where they're places
This
with
significant
things of
event
worship.
happened.
Yeah.
So like,
Because there was like, wasn't it like there was like gold or treasure found recently from an Vikings or some kind of, and they found that like some of it was made from like an asteroid or something.
I don't know.
Like I think there's always stories like that, or like I think we talked about it in a recent episode, one of our past episodes, where they're like something happens, you're the king doing something, you're like, oh crap, and then that thing like the volcano explodes. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh man, like now everybody thinks that he's the reason why it exploded. So they kill him.
Yeah.
This
is your fault. Kill him.
Yeah. So God, okay, that could be one.
A God,
God, yeah.
And we got to throw these out there, man. Aliens. All something
Like
you got to throw out there.
crash-landed alien.
So some have speculated this event was caused by the explosion of an UFO that may have crashed.
And that's how we got Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the Indiana Jones movie.
Or it was a result of UFO taking off.
Okay.
It's fuel resource or whatever it may be. Some believe it was nuclear, and that's how we got nuclear energy to begin with. May have caused the explosion. Others believe that was, in fact, a meteorite, but aliens destroyed it, saving humanity.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Welcome to Earth. Some refer to this site as the Russian Roswell.
Ours is better.
Yeah, ours is way better.
Take that, Putin.
Other people believe that it might have been a space laser from a distant alien civilization.
Like someone's like screwing with it. Yeah. Some kid's like, Dad, what's this do? Putin's like, no!
Brought his kid to work day, and the dad like turned around and the kid's just like, yeah! So that's, man.
I wonder, as someone who has kids that are little kids that are just a joy.
They're just a joy.
I could totally. I would hope that aliens also have those same problems of like having kids that are just a joy, just real awesome to deal with on a daily basis. Like little bee blorp. Stop touching that.
That bee blorp.
Yeah,
I told you not to touch that.
You're gonna annihilate that.
Could have just killed somebody.
Yeah, that crop that we have down there on Earth.
You just killed a bunch of reindeer. All right, then the next one we got is Tesla, Nikola Tesla.
I was going to say Elon Musk.
Some conspiracy theorists suggest that Nikola Tesla's experiments with wireless transmission of electrical power at his Wardenclyffe Tower, which I think is like in New York.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. That's an awesome story.
Could have caused a Tunguska explosion.
He was trying to transmit electricity through the air.
Yeah.
And that's how we got Twitter.
There's also an alleged story that Tesla was testing his death ray.
Yeah. Another thing that was, yeah.
Upon hearing of the destruction at the Tunguska event, he dismantled it, fearing its power. So he, like the story goes, his death ray was successful, and he's just got lucky that it didn't actually like kill anyone.
Is Godzilla one of the theories?
That'd be cool. That would make sense. I just watched that new Godzilla -1, like the actual Japanese made one.
Okay.
Came out like, I think this past.
Okay.
It was good.
I didn't see it. I do like monster movies. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it just came out on Netflix. It's like an ode to like the older Godzilla movies.
Yeah, where they wear like the big rubber suits.
Yeah.
I like monster movies like that. Like there's not enough of them.
No.
Aren't they coming out with a new Godzilla?
Another Godzilla King Kong. I think it's already out.
Is it? Oh, the Ape Kingdom. Okay.
Yeah, it looks.
But those other ones are so good.
Yeah, like Skull Island was really good.
Skull Island was good.
That was great.
Godzilla was good.
First one was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. The second one was
pretty good. Is it? Don't they fight?
Ghidorah.
Yeah.
No, that's the third one.
Mechagodzilla. Don't they fight Mechagodzilla?
No, that's the third one.
Wait, this is the fourth one that just came out?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Because there's a second one. Maybe they fight Ghidorah in the second one. And Ghidorah. Oh, yeah. So they fight Ghidorah.
Was Kong in that? No.
The third one he was.
Yeah.
Because it's Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
And he fights Mechagodzilla, which has the brain of Ghidorah.
Right. Okay.
and that's how they fight. And it's the craziest thing about that is they go into the like inside of the earth, the hollow earth theory.
Yeah.
And like they're like, we can't get down there unless you have this special ship that flips you as soon as you get there. I was like, that's such a dumb thing.
So
Why would they even bother spend so much time talking about it? But then when they get down there, Godzilla just blows a hole through the earth down to it so King Kong can climb back out.
I didn't like, I knew like was it Jules Verne that did like Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Yeah, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah. But people actually believe in, they're like, actually
Hollow
believe in
Earth.
Hollow.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Dude,
like, I was like,
we'll
what?
talk about that someday.
Yeah, because I was reading
the ice walls, like the whole idea of the ice walls and everything, Hollow Earth theory. Yeah. There's like a lot of people that believe.
I couldn't believe it. I was reading this book just about like mysteries and history, and I was like, people actually believe this?
I was reading this thing about how people are think that everything on TikTok is real, and it's like, oh, this is why people are so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like lots of research being like, dude, you're totally wrong. But scientists are like, I don't have time to explain why you're so wrong. Because I'm trying to actually solve problems that make humanity better.
Yeah.
Like actual problems. I don't have time to tell you why you're dumb. But like, I guess like it's a fantasy thing.
Sure.
Like, if you believe in that, fine. As long as you don't like change the world for the worst, like believe whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want to believe that, it's fine. As long as you don't go out there and tell people we have to kill ourselves because of this. Like
drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, like that Comet, whatever the hell, the Hellbop Comet thing.
Yeah.
Like what Heaven's Gate people. Like as long as you don't do stuff like that, whatever. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you believe whatever the hell you want. Good, great.
It's crazy
believe
how many
Hollow
people
Earth.
like they're like that throughout history. Like people that do that, like they have like power over people.
Oh yeah,
to think stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's disturbing.
There was that recent one, Nivix or whatever it was. That
oh yeah, that oh god.
There's some crazy cults out there, and like it's just like normal people get sucked into them. You're just like, what?
They prey.
You want to grab them and be like, dude.
Yeah. Well, they prey on people who are just like, I don't know, going through trauma or just like,
yeah. I mean, I guess it's just like
sucks.
Yeah,
you want to shake and be like, what are you thinking?
There has to be a button out there where you're like just pushing, someone gets punched like every time they do something stupid like that.
A shock collar.
Or maybe we should make it an example of those people who do this, like more severely. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not in charge. But again,
we're also not doing this to people.
Yeah, if you want to believe in Hollow Earth, do it. Great. As long as you're not hurting anybody or poisoning anybody, like with this, like you have to vote a certain way because of Hollow Earth. Like, who cares? Yeah. It's your fantasy world. Do it. As long as you're not hurting someone or ruining someone's life, great. You're not profiting off of it.
Yeah, there's people that like I feel like spend like their life's earnings on proving this stuff. Well, they're just like, I haven't proved anything.
But if it's their own life,
sure, yeah.
You know, like that guy that wanted to prove the flat Earth, and he made that rocket. That was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome that he could do that.
Right. He had the power to see it through.
Yeah, and then he died.
Right.
Unfortunately, but that was so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that someday. Not an insane quest, but at the same time, that was just awesome.
Yeah. Good for him.
Great. Yeah. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't believe whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Who cares?
All right. This is the next one. Now we're getting a little bit more scientific here. Next one's natural gas.
Amen, brother.
Bunch of those reindeer just farting a bunch. No. Some researchers propose that the Tunguska explosion was caused by an eruption of natural gas from deep within the earth rather than it being an external cause. I
mean, that's what they say about the will-o-wisps too.
Yeah.
You know, type of gas.
Swamp gas.
Yeah.
They suggest that the gas stored as a fluid deep underground could have expanded upon reaching the surface, causing a massive explosion. Astrophysicist Wolfgang Kuhn, there's a D in there.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you say. I'll just bleep it out. It's fine.
And others point to kimberlite. It's a volcanic rock known for containing diamonds as a possible source of the gas.
This idea of like natural gas. I mean, like, there was like that lake in like, I want to say South America somewhere that basically the same thing happened where like an entire village got destroyed. Like everybody in the village died one day because this lake like released this gas, natural gas.
Like poison them or something?
It poisoned the entire village silently. They all died from like carbon monoxide, but it was stuck in this lake.
Okay.
And like, so like things like that totally, I mean, that sounds like a,
but how would it, like, what would it cause? Explode? Like it needed to be ignited, like, lightning might would have had to hit that
ball lightning.
Yeah, but everyone said it was like a clear day, other than this massive thing happening.
It could have been some reindeer out there just,
farting it
partying.
Their party missile.
Yeah.
This one I thought was kind of interesting because people don't really like, I don't know, antimatter.
Yeah.
Is that known to be an actual thing though?
It's not proven.
Okay.
It's
I know it's like highly hypothesized and theorized upon.
People that spend their entire life trying to prove it.
Right.
It's because there's a lot of it's like the whole thing, like dark matter, like that whole thing of what is the universe filled with? There has to be an opposite, right? Type of thing.
But what, I don't understand what antimatter would be. Like, I can't comprehend. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't comprehend.
Antimatter and matter come into contact, they cause an explosion. Because there's some weird thing with that.
Yeah, but we know what matter is. Like, I can't explain it, but I'm just trying to understand what antimatter is. It's like I have a hard time wrapping my
I think it's
stupid brain around it.
Physics of everything has
an opposite.
So what is the opposite of matter?
Right. Yeah.
So
I just can't understand.
And the idea is that if they ever come in contact, it could be. I guess that's the theory.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what the theories are.
So this is a less mainstream thing, but it claims that a small chunk of antimatter collided with the Earth, annihilated upon contact, releasing a massive amount of energy.
I mean, that's what everybody was scared about when they turned on the
thing in Sweden,
the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
And they were like,
"We're fine.
You're fine. Just you'll be right." Or they was going to cause little black holes, and there's a lot of dumb stuff like that. But again, everybody's scared of everything.
Yeah,
and there's probably still people out there that believe that,
right?
Causing little black holes.
Yeah,
like swallowing the Earth. Whatever. Fine.
So speaking of black holes, that's another one thrown out there. It's a bit fringe though. This one suggests that maybe a small black hole passed through the Earth, causing an explosion in Siberia and exiting out the other side of the Earth. But if the explosion happened as it's entering the Earth in Siberia, wherever it came through on the other side of the Earth, when there had been an explosion there too.
Maybe it got sucked in instead of exploded out.
And I don't know science.
I don't think anybody really knows the answer to those type of concepts. But
so these last two seem to be the most plausible.
There you go.
I got there. One is comet airburst.
Okay.
Certain scientists conclude that what happened was a comet detonating in the sky, potentially the comet, I don't know how to pronounce ENCKE. Inc. This theory was initially put forth way back in 1930 by British astronomer F.J.W. Whipple. His name's Whipple.
F.J.W. Whipple?
F.J.W. Whipple.
Yeah, other people call it?
I laughed so many times writing this when I saw this guy's name, and I thought it'd be dumb, but it's funny.
What is the name of it? How do you spell it?
So it's WHIPPLE.
Okay. But you probably have
J.W. Whipple.
You'd have an accent for it.
Yeah. It's British. So Whipple supported this theory because the illuminated skies were observed post-explosion. So apparently around the world, like I said earlier, in Europe and Asia, for several days, the night sky would be bright. Apparently it's these pictures that were taken at night in Paris without a flash.
1908?
Yeah. I guess there wouldn't have been flash. Yeah, they had the big light bulbs on there that would break every time you use it, right, on cameras back then?
I guess.
But anyways, they were taking night photography and able to see.
I mean, you don't need a flash at night.
I know, but apparently the sky was that illuminated. They were oh, look, we can actually see for a great distance, not right in front of me, and taking a picture at night.
So the idea, what's this called? The EN what?
This is the comet airburst, but this is this theory was initially put forth by Whipple back in 1930.
And what was that word you said? ENC what? EN what?
Oh, it might have been from the comet ENCKE.
Was that the name of the comet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
it might have been that comet itself or a piece of that comet.
Okay.
He's saying maybe it detonated in the sky before hitting Earth.
Because it was ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An illuminated effect could have resulted from dust and particles originating from the disintegrated comet's tail.
And that's what from Asteroid, the movie Asteroid, I think that's what that was. That was actually a comet because when they had to get it before it got around the sun or something, because then it would start blowing up again.
Okay.
And that's why they had to leave so quickly because it
Wait, which movie?
Asteroid.
Oh, it's called Asteroid?
Yeah, the Bruce Willis one.
Armageddon, sorry.
Oh, what did I say?
Armageddon. You said Asteroid.
The game. Okay, so in Armageddon,
Okay.
yeah, it had. Remember, because it was like when it went on the sun, it started.
It would sling. It's kind of like didn't.
But it started blowing
slingshot
up.
itself.
It started like blowing. That's why
okay.
they only had a certain amount of time on there because
Right,
like all the. I don't know if that was an Armageddon was a comet that was coming towards Earth. I can't remember. Don't matter. Bruce was singing that song.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I get confused with this stuff. Because I don't know.
Because of terrible movies.
Yeah, he didn't actually do any research.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I have to click on it because it stops saying. But just take it like this. It's a movie of Bruce Willis and his team of misfits attempting to save the world by going to outer space and blowing up a giant. And you have to click on the article. I can't see what it actually trying to blow up.
Oh man. Is it Wikipedia or like
IMDb?
We're just doing everything these days.
Asteroid, size of Texas. That's right.
Okay.
Was Deep Impact an asteroid too?
Yes.
Okay.
And they blew that one up. And only part of it made it and hit the water.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the asteroid. Maybe the asteroid one didn't actually hit the water. It didn't actually hit Earth in Armageddon.
I think no pieces of it did because remember showing like hitting the Eiffel Tower. That Deep Impact.
I think that might have, no, the Deep Impact when they hit the ocean.
Yeah. There's that big tidal wave that went to like Midwest kind of.
Yes.
Around the like mountains or whatever. Appalachia.
Yes.
In 2010, an expedition utilized ground-penetrating radar to investigate the Tunguska site, discovering evidence suggesting that a massive chunk of ice formed in one of those bogs that the original guy was looking at, aligning with the comet hypothesis. However, detractors of this notion contend that a comet on such a shallow trajectory through the atmosphere would have broken apart well before reaching the lower atmosphere.
Okay. That makes sense. So that the trajectory itself could have.
Yeah.
Comet, yeah, but what about an asteroid?
But advocates for the comet theory propose that it could have been an extinct comet. I didn't know that was a thing. What the hell is that? Possessing a stony outer layer, enabling it to survive until it reached the lower atmosphere. So that's kind of all right.
So it was all like
extinct comet.
It was just made of bones.
It was dead.
It's a bony comet.
Yeah, fossil fuel in it.
It's all tarry.
So yeah, I guess there would have been ice on it then. No, there still would have been ice on it, right? Because it's traveling through
How
space.
was it extinct?
No clue.
So maybe
it didn't have its tail. Maybe.
Right. So maybe comets are. Maybe they have a core of it's like rock. It's all ice on the outside.
Comet object made mostly of ice and dust.
Okay, so it's just a bunch of junk and
often with a gas halo. So maybe the gas was already like this.
Well, because the gas is
extinguished.
The gas is the ice melting when it gets close to the sun.
Okay,
that's what causes the comet to do that.
Well. Who knows the science?
I'm a doctor.
Now we're doing asteroid. Seems to be the best scenario for what happened. Most likely. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. This is the most widely accepted theory: is that the stony or icy asteroid exploded in the atmosphere about 5 to 10 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This belief gained traction in 2001 when a study revealed that an 83% likelihood, based on an orbital calculations of the atmospheric paths of the Tunguska object, that originated from the asteroid belt and followed a trajectory akin to that of an asteroid. The 2019 examination of fragments from the site, coupled with analysis of resin from trees in the area, showing elevated levels of materials commonly found on rocky asteroids, further support the theory that the object was an iron meteorite. Can a meteorite come from an asteroid? This is what I'm saying, man. Like,
I thought an asteroid was just meteorites.
Meteorite is a meteoroid, especially one that hits Earth's surface.
So an asteroid is just bigger.
Yeah.
So it could be broken. It could break off and become a meteor.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Meteoroid.
Go with that. I like that. Sure. Yeah.
So an asteroid can turn into many meteors.
Yes. Okay, here you go. Meteors, meteors are fragments from comets or asteroids. Okay.
A lot of stuff going up there, and that's their space.
But again, there's no crater, so they're saying it had to have exploded in the atmosphere.
So the angle that it hit the Earth gave it more time. Instead of like coming down maybe at a steeper angle where it hit the ground,
like
it came in and then
which also seems like what a lot of the people were saying. Eyewitness accounts, like guys said, it looked like the guy was cut in half because I'm guessing horizontally.
There you go.
So you're actually going like down towards like an arch, not just straight down.
Boom.
Which would also explain that blue light. Maybe that was too bright.
Okay, a blue light.
Maybe it was the tail of the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, what would make make the sky so bright though? They said
explosion itself, maybe it like exploding.
Well,
in
they
the
said for
atmosphere?
days.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just poked a hole right in every scientist's face. Take that,
suck it, Johnny
scientist.
Science.
Yeah, take that, every scientist ever.
Regarding the absence of a crater, it's hypothesized that the asteroid disintegrated due to immense increase in temperature upon entry into the atmosphere, leaving no substantial remnants behind. Compelling evidence from the asteroid that you mentioned this earlier. Hypothesis stems from a comparable, albeit smaller, explosion on February 15, 2013 in Russia, which also produced a shockwave capable of shattering windows. Scientists determined that event was caused by an asteroid measuring 17 to 20 meters in diameter with a mass of approximately 11,000 tons. It's estimated that the size of the Tunguska object ranged from 39 meters to 200 meters in diameter. Like, imagine if it hit, like, I don't know, like, they said that, like, this would destroy a major city.
Of course.
Obviously, yeah. But, like, what the ramifications of that would be if it hit a major city today like that. But even back then, like, what would have happened with World War One? Would World War One even happen?
If it hit, like, Moscow or something?
Yeah.
Well, I think if it hit Moscow, it sounds bad, but, like, Germany might be a lot bigger than it is now.
Yeah. Might not have even been a revolution.
Would you ever see The Expanse?
No.
The Expanse is like an amazing show. It's like one of my favorite next to Dark and Americans. It is it was started on the Sci-Fi Network. It's a bunch of books. It started on the Sci-Fi Network. Then it, like, I think in the second season it got bought by Amazon because it's like, I guess they said it was who's Mr. Amazon guy? It says his favorite book series or something. So he bought
Bezos.
it. Yeah. So he bought and finished the show out. He finished it off. And
is the show over?
Yes,
Okay.
but
like it concluded that it wasn't canceled.
Yes.
Okay.
No. And there's supposed to be a second series based off the second series of books that they kind of set up, but then it was all during the pandemic, so I don't know if they actually followed through with it. But anyway,
what about?
It's about like it's like a sci-fi, like space, like people colonizing different places. Okay. But anyway, the main thing is that, like, there's a group that went to Mars and started a different, they splintered off from Earth, and so there's like the Mars faction, and then there's these people that they live on the asteroids, or they're called spacers or something. They're called
space.
They're called spacers.
Okay.
And they live on the asteroids, and they mine asteroids for water and stuff to send to Mars and Earth, basically. And that's what it's kind of like all about, like class and stuff, like class warfare and that type of stuff. But anyway.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing stuff for this.
So, yeah, it was really big whenever popping off back in, like, I think 2022, 2023 is whenever, 22 is whenever, like, the last season, 21, the last season came out.
Disappearance of a rich girl turned politician activist.
And that's like the first season. The first two seasons.
Is Jupiter Ascending?
No, the first two seasons are kind of rough. But then it's just so good. It gets so good. But anyway, the big thing about it is, the big thing I like about it is and this is what everybody says about it, is the physics of, like, how things actually work in space, like with the ships and how they all operate and work and how weapons work and everything is, like, super accurate. Realistic. Very right. Yeah. So, like, the reason why I bring it up is because in one of the main plots, like one of the main enemies basically uses asteroids, basically takes asteroids and throws them into the earth, like diverts them a little bit to go into the earth. And Earth has defense forces, but they screw with them, and so that they make them through the defenses, like, that shoot them.
Yeah.
And they, like, slam and just annihilate entire cities.
Jeez.
Like, and I think like South Africa gets completely wiped off the map, like, and it's like a huge thing in this. But
it was
like,
on for 7 years.
Well, there was like
2015 to 2000.
There was like 2 years they were off because of the pandemic.
Oh, great. Okay.
2 or 3 years. And then they were supposed to come back with 2 more seasons, I think. Every season is basically a book, one of the books.
Okay.
And then the last 2 seasons got canceled. They made like a 6-episode, like, final season because of the pandemic. But anyway, and it was like using asteroids slamming the cities, and that was like that's huge nuts. Thing and it's just like one asteroid that makes it through. Super bad. But Everybody should watch that. It's a great show. The one good scene in that show that I love is you're like just randomly in the middle of like the 4th season or something. They have like a whole section at the beginning of an episode where the guy that basically invented how they travel through space so far, like because they travel, really large distances. It basically comes down to like fuel economy, and this guy is like, obviously in the future.
Yeah, when is this supposed to take place?
It's 2100s maybe. Yeah. But anyway, so this guy like from Earth, like buys like an old junker spaceship, and they're mostly just for going like between, Mars and Earth and like the moon and the asteroids, like right past Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they don't really go very far because they don't have like the technology yet. So this guy just basically like buys this old junker and he's like just fixing it up for fun. Like it's just so like just out of left field, and they're just like this like random like dude.
He's like a redneck guy.
Almost, he's like a college guy, and he's
okay.
He's like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, well, she's on, I'm just doing this on my Saturday. He's like in his garage, like fixing his car on a Saturday, and he hits a button by accident, and it's like charging thing, and it's like he's like, oh crap, and he gets shot back against the wall, and the ship just takes off, and he can't get to the control sheet to turn it off, but it's like
because of the force or whatever.
Yeah, but like he just basically invented the fuel, this engine. He like tweaked the engine enough that he can get the fuel economy they need to like get places. So he like it's like 99.8% battery or fuel, and it's like not going down, and always like, oh my god. And he goes, it's like for hours he's just going, and it's like not even enough 99% fuel. And so he like discovered how to make them travel through space.
Oh, so he kicks this whole thing off for like
he like started the whole thing of traveling farther than just between Mars and so like everybody's like, and that's just like such a throwaway thing, but it's such a huge thing of how the entire.
But I mean, that's how aren't things most times like inventions or progress.
And they don't talk about this guy,
accidents.
This guy basically just shot off into like the universe somewhere, and no one ever found him.
Oh, really?
And like he just kept on going straight.
Yeah.
And he just died because they couldn't figure out he couldn't get to the controls to turn it off.
Oh, geez.
But it was like he solved the fuel economy thing because it wasn't just wait till it runs out of fuel in a few days. It was like he's never gonna run out of fuel. Yeah.
But how do they? If they never found him, how do they know how to do it?
I mean, they don't really go into that. It's logs, what the dude was doing. They eventually figured out. I guess like eventually in the lore, they figure out where he's at.
That's pretty silly.
But anyway, they use asteroids as weapons. They're meteors and weapons and that, and they just slam them into the earth. Pretty awesome.
That's what some alien did.
That's what I was thinking. We started talking about this. I'm like, wait a second. I've heard this before.
Did aliens do this?
Okay, so what do you got? What is that? The last theory?
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah.
So what do you think happened?
I think it'd be really cool if it was Tesla. Just like, behold my death ray.
And like
he's like, crap, it works.
And he like accidentally hit the start button, and it like shoots off. He's like, oh crap.
Luckily, I only may have killed 3 people. I think that'd be pretty neat, but I mean, it's total myth. I think it's definitely for sure. Because originally, when I was going to do this, I was like, there's no point in me doing it because it seems like it's been solved. The debate between it, whether it was like, comet, meteor, or asteroid, seems very hotly debated amongst.
Because they couldn't find one.
Yeah. You're going to find any like.
So the mystery here is like, what actually was it?
Yeah.
And
apparently though, there's a lake that's like, I think 5 miles from here. That people, sometimes scientists are like, well, maybe this is where it actually landed, which is why there's a lake here now.
Yeah.
But then people later on, other scientists went back and like somehow dated something in the lake that was 200 years old. So it would have been around before this happened. But again, like the fact that there's like nothing there other than like some few trace like minerals that aren't native to that region that are probably from, an extraterrestrial body like a comet, meteor, asteroid. I think that's pretty crazy that there's no evidence of it. But again, based on testimonies of people and like what people have learned over the years since this thing happened, that it most likely is some comet, meteor, or asteroid just disintegrated in our atmosphere, caused this massive explosion.
It's just when it just so happened that this disintegration took place, the last possible like point of it was just a certain amount above the air.
Yeah,
because I think that's how. Was the
apparently this happens all the time too, but it's not.
They're not big enough.
Not that big, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Well, that's what a shooting star is.
Right.
You
Yeah.
see those all the time.
Yeah. That's terrifying. And like this insane.
We can be sitting here right now.
Just happens to be like the land, and this happened in like a remote place.
And eventually it's going to not happen. It's going to not go.
Apparently some of this is going to happen every 1,000 years. I feel like next time, if Earth is still around or if we're still here,
I mean,
we might not be too lucky.
Well, the thing is, I mean, NASA's already working on space agencies around the world already preparing for this kind of stuff. If they have enough time, they'll just. I mean, there's stuff that goes past the Earth all the time. That's like,
well, apparently June 30th, when this happened, it's National or International Asteroid Day.
Cool, good.
It was just promote awareness of what to do when something like this happens. Like, do you guys know what we should do? NASA, do you know what we're going to do if this happens?
Well,
like,
they had the DART mission where they just slightly knocked one out of a little off course. And if they can do it early enough, it's perfectly safe. But like things go between, I think like once or twice a year, something goes between the Earth and the moon. Yeah. Which is still far enough away that's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah, I feel like every like so often, like this asteroid's coming towards Earth.
Yeah, but that's just because they want someone to click on a website.
Right, yeah.
It's eventually just be like, dude, just stop talking about it because no one's going to care anymore. That's the problem with that.
When it actually does happen, people are like, whatever, it's not going to happen.
That's the whole purpose of that. The whole point of that movie, Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
With Leo.
Yeah.
You do anything. Anyway, I think it was more than likely, obviously, it was one of those three things, but it is weird that nothing's left.
Yeah.
After all this time, someone would have found something.
Still looking for something, but they haven't found really.
Because people build their entire careers off finding crap like this in the desert and stuff. Yeah. They find little bits of meteorites and stuff. So if it was that much pressure, that much heat, and it was just disintegrated, there'd still probably be something left, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
So, I did find an article. I didn't use it, but it goes along with the alien thing. I think it was back in like 2003, maybe. Guys apparently found like alien artifacts there.
Okay. Was they were inside it, or like
they were part of like might have been part of this UFO that was there, or that or alien saviors that saved us from the comet or whatever this was.
Nice.
But I never saw. Like I was like I'm not reading. Like I'll release more when I find out more what these things are. It's like shut up.
Oh yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing the work for us, right?
Apparently there's, I don't know, like, it might have been like some kind of like fuel thing that the aliens are using for this. I don't know.
It was like their gas can, like the gas cap.
Gas cap.
Always losing that thing.
Hey, buddy, your gas cap's
off. Hey,
off.
you lost your gas cap, bro. Check engine lights on. He's like, crap.
The bluey.
All right. Well, I also think it was probably, I mean, look, listen. I think we'd love it to be aliens, as we've said in the past.
Sure, yeah. As usual.
We're also not smart enough to actually tell you what it is, but it's probably some type of asteroid, meteor, exploded. Seems like once in a lifetime, or like once every 1,000 years type of event.
Yeah.
So good that it was.
That's so odds of that is crazy.
When was the last time one of these happened? I mean, was it just?
I don't think I think the last time, apparently this is like the first time recorded human history something like this happened.
Like once every 1,000 years.
Yeah, but with like there was written history 1,000 years ago.
So what? So you goes back through folklore of like every part of human history and look. I mean, if it's something that big.
What was the one you did last time? The guy that said that like the moon.
Oh, this moon split in half?
Yeah. Was asteroid something like that? Was that, or comet? Was that one of the theories?
That it was coming directly towards them?
Yeah.
And that they were just a perfect angle
of it?
Yeah.
Maybe that was that.
But they said it could have been an asteroid that hit the moon or some type of meteorite. It could have hit the moon. Yeah. It could have been. Yeah. There's a lot of different things it could have been. But it probably was something like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like a perfect angle.
Was that like 1100s that happened?
Yes. Yes, 1148 maybe.
But that was the only mention of that anywhere. So
right, because they were on the perfect angle for it. And outside at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, go back through history. Sure, there's lots of places that have these type of things happen, but they're just not written down.
Yeah. Dinosaur one.
Yucatan Peninsula, they think.
Yeah.
Or they supposedly that's where they say it hit.
Right.
I always look at like things on like pictures on like Google Earth stuff. There's a show called What on Earth, and it's like about stuff they see on satellite imagery. When you look at something like the Eye of the Sahara, and the way that that's laid out and everything. And you're like, what was that? And it looks like, oh, something could have hit there, but it's actually geological formation. So there's so many things that also a comet that hit, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, probably covered up by whatever it is by now.
Yeah.
And there's so many stories, from different cultures throughout the world, folk stories. Who knows what actually lines up with that?
Yeah.
I'm sure people have done the research.
But yeah, but kind of like with the Noah's Ark thing, like so many different countries or civilizations kind of have a similar story.
Yeah.
It's something that actually happened. Do you think like something this big would have been noted?
Or is that why we have Zeus now? That's like Zeus did that.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of the stories of the gods from different cultures.
Right.
And it's because of something like that happened and they saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just me being me. Anyway, thank you, Jordan, for this story.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody out there, for watching or listening or however you're getting our information. If you please give us a follow or subscribe, that helps us out a lot. Send us an email if you have any ideas for future episodes at mysteriouspausonline@gmail.com. You can always find links to everything down in the show notes for all of our social media stuff like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that, or X or whatever the hell they call it. You can also just go to mysteriouspals.com and all the links and stuff are there. Either way, we'd love to hear from you. Love for you to come back.
Love for you to tell us we're going on tangents.
Love for the tangents talk. Go ahead and I put the chapters in there. Just you can use that way to navigate around. Don't get mad and never see us again or whatever. Leave us bad reviews or whatever. But anyway, thank you for being here. We really love you. Really appreciate it. And next time, we will be talking about something mysterious, probably. But until then, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Chris.
And thank you out there again. We love you all. We will see you next time. Same mysterious time, same mysterious place. Stay mysterious. And good night.